What's up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond. I'm back with my own review of Love and Marriage Huntsville, and one scene in particular pissed me off. But also, the running question that happened throughout this entire episode was, what about Destiny? How does Destiny feel? And my answer to that is, fuck Destiny and her feelings. Why is it always about her? Why? This episode shouldn't have had nothing to do with her. That's what annoyed me. Why are y'all giving so much concern and opinions and care for Destiny when y'all don't give the same courtesy and care for Melody with what she's still going through with Martell? Make that make sense for me. But I have not been in the highest of spirits to review the show because of Keke's passing. Last week, I did a community post on my thoughts from last week's episode, and I have a lot to say on this episode because y'all pissed me off with this. So we have Chris and Nell. Nell goes over to Chris's office to discuss some things that have been weighing heavily on her. But before we get into that, Chris tells her that he's looking at some properties for Sonny and Moses because Moses and Sonny wants to move out here to Huntsville. Nell is like, oh, did you check in with Destiny, see how she feels? You don't think this could be a conflict of interest? No, it don't, because this has nothing to do with Destiny. And he said, I don't need Destiny's permission to sell a house. This is business, not personal. But she wanted to say, I don't mean like that. I mean, there's been some things that happened between y'all, and I don't want anything to like drive a wedge. And apparently there haven't been a conversation about what happened between them previously. And what people are not aware of is Destiny felt the way about Chris allowing a content creator come inside her home and film and put it on his channel. Because Destiny filmed a scene at Martell's upscale magazine event that got cut. She was seen arguing with him about how could you allow someone to come inside my house and do this and do that. That person was Anthony Lofty's that she had an interview with and got mad about how he came in, filmed her home, and put on his channel, even though it was an open house, which means open to the public, but got mad at Chris for not telling him he couldn't come. I don't know if Chris was aware who he was, but you were. But at the end of the day, that was cut out. And it was never a conversation. It was never an understanding as to why she was arguing with him. So everyone who has watched this episode is confused. What happened between Chris and Destiny? This is what happened. But this is due to production and Carlos. How could y'all film a scene, cut it, and not give any clarity and context when it might get brought back up again? Because bringing this up, everyone is wondering, what happened? What happened? But that's on them. That's on them. Y'all always scrap out information that can help us understand what it could mean in the next scene. But either way, moving on. She's here to talk about feeling drained emotionally and physically about always lending money to the children. Particularly her niece Keke, their son Chris Jr., and her oldest son Lance sometimes be here and there. And paying rent, paying utilities is taking a toll on her. And she's like, we need to set up boundaries because right now it's affecting what they might want to do, Chris and Nell, how they want to spoil the riches of how hard they've worked in their life. But it gets halted when their kids are asking for something. And in my mind, I'm like, Nell, that's on you. I am very sorry. This is affecting you so much, but you let the foundation of making your children be so financially dependent on you that they don't know how to fend things for themselves. They don't know how to handle things for themselves. They always go to you. And she's asking Chris, have you seen the change? Do you notice a change in me? He said, yes, I have been with you for over 30 years. I know when something's bothering you. And if you're feeling like this is a lot, then yes, we do need to set boundaries. We do need to let the kids know we're not gonna always be able to give you guys money when y'all need it. Y'all gonna learn how to fend for yourselves. And in the confessional, he also told her, you need to not hold it in all the time. I can't help you if you don't talk to me. So she wanted to load everything she deals with on his lap and he gonna take care of it. Then inviting them over to the house, she instantly said, I'm not cooking. He's like, oh, come on, we gotta eat. Okay, well, order out. Hell, we got the funds for that, order out. I don't want to spend all day in the kitchen cooking. No. But then he asked nicely and she said, okay, I'll do it. I wouldn't have cooked shit. So continuing on with Chris, he goes over to Martell's property to see if Sonny and Moses would be interested. And of course, Martell needs a check. And he's tired of, people wondering how does Destiny feel? Should Destiny feel a way about this? He said, I don't need Destiny's permission to sell property. This is what I do. I'm a real estate broker. I connect people to find houses and I get paid for it. And I'm not going to let Destiny's feelings stop me from getting paid. He even said he look at Destiny like a little sister, so she should understand this is about my business. You would want me to make sure I get to the bag, because if you're all about your feelings, then I'm gonna lose out on the bag. Martell just came in, told him what else needs to be done with the house, and he's wondering who's it for. It's for Sonny and Moses. Same old, same old. Did you talk to Destiny? Don't give a shit. Sonny and Moses came in. They instantly don't like the house. The house is small, nice backyard. And they are looking into Huntsville because they want to get out of St. Louis. St. Louis has been a danger to live, according to them. They have been born and raised in St. Louis, so they've been in the harsher areas, the hood areas, and they want to provide a safer environment for their family. They're really moving forward in the steps of creating a family, because outside out the parking lot, outside in the backyard, they just spoke about finishing a second session of IVF. So they're getting the ball rolling. I ain't got nothing against it, because later we're going to find out why IVF was the obvious choice for them. And, you know, there's a school down the street, and there's also Nell's daycare center. And we segue into Stormy's Lovers and Friends event, where Sonny spoke to Destiny, didn't go well. Destiny complaining to Martell why they're here. Why are they here? We're asking to be here. Again, Destiny, I'm going to say it till I'm blue in the face. They are here because you need a storyline. You were not interested in coming back without having something to attach to it, because you would not have spoken about anything else. So you can miss me. Sonny and Moses are aware of the fact that Destiny's in her feelings. They understand her emotions, but they don't tolerate disrespect, which is how Destiny has been treating their marriage. She's been very disrespectful towards their marriage, very disrespectful towards Sonny's reputation. And what happened. You can't help who you fall in love. They know the optics, they know how it looks, but at the end of the day, if they hear their side, they're not going to always be so empathetic towards Destiny. Martell, he even said how he's neutral in the situation. He heard both sides, he got nothing against it, but even though he flipped, saying if Moses was to ever come out of line towards Destiny, he's going to go towards Destiny. That's his girl, of course. So Chris clocked that you're claiming to be neutral with this situation between Destiny and Moses, but yet you claim we have not been neutral when it comes to you and Melody. He looks like you've been on her side majority of the time. No, they have not. Chris told you, I have been neutral since day one. Okay? It's you who have been asking everybody to pick sides. It's you who've said we've picked Melody's side, and that's not true, because he claims that everything that Mel tells them, they're taking it at face value. They're believing everything that Mel said, and they're not giving him a chance to explain his side. It's bullshit. Mel has not said to pick sides. She should now. But in the beginning, Martell, you've always wanted people to be on your side. You've always wanted people to choose sides. So saying in confessional how they are always picking Melody's side, they've always chosen Melody's side. No, they have not. So get the fuck out of here. Sonny has no hatred towards Destiny. Again, she knows how the situation can look, but her feelings are her feelings. But she wants them to get along and be in a neutral space, which is for everyone to hear their side and move forward. And Martell kind of admitted that he was in love with Ariel and he was cheating on Mel, which I don't believe. You don't even claim her now. And you've been divorced for how many years? You still don't claim that you love her. Fuck out of here. Moving on. So now we got Stormy. She's at her warehouse. I love the fact that Stormy is wearing her natural curls. They're looking beautiful. Martell come over to hang out, see what's up with her. Did anybody find it weird how Martell and Stormy are so buddy-buddy all of a sudden? I think it's because of Courtney. They talk about her event and how he backed out the last minute being a model, only because he felt intimidated by Ken and Trish, because he felt like his body wasn't up to par, even though that was the reason why Trish was enlisted to get him back into shape, but that was still a bad idea because he wasn't going to do it anyway. And then we have a long overdue conversation as to why it was so weird between him and Trish at Stormy's house, and he ends up admitting that she came by the house a couple times because he sent her a DM to see what was up. So we go through this whole song and dance of Trish making herself look crazy, wondering why does he act like he don't know me when he knows me, you acting confused and trying to go back memory lane of how, oh, maybe she look different. Maybe it's her hair. It's been a long time since I've seen her. When you sent her a DM. Now, we don't know what happened when after the DM. Even though he said she came by the house. I don't know what happened in the house. Did something happen in the house? Will that be mentioned? And why didn't he tell Ken? Because apparently this happened before Ken. Is he afraid of Ken? I think he's afraid of Ken. But then Stormy, she's looking all shocked and like, oh my God, I don't know what to take of this. Martell just dropped this all in my lap and I don't know what to do with it. I feel like I'm caught in the middle. Stormy, stop. This is not an inconvenience for you that this information was brought to you when you asked why was it weird between them. So you looking all shocked and confused and disheveled. I don't know what to do. I didn't ask for this. Oh my God. Stop pretending, Stormy. You want the information. You got the information. Do what you want with it. Stop. Okay? Just stop. So after that, wondering why didn't he completely in the bargain of being a model, because he wanted Mel there. He thought Mel was going to be there, which is why he wanted to be a model. He wanted to show his body off to Mel, but she wasn't going to come. Once Stormy told Mel you were coming, she said no. And Stormy, you understood it. So I don't like the way you still want to say, like, I don't know how y'all can't be in the same room together. You could be on one end, she could be on the other end. Y'all ain't got to interact. Never going to happen. Martell can't be far away from Mel without trying to get into her space, without wanting attention from her. So it would not have worked if they were in the same room, being far apart. You can miss me with that. And, you know, he always wants to bring up information that he believes people are going to just have a difference of opinions, because he always likes to say the way that him and Mel acts on the show is for the show. But outside the show, they're always in the same space. They're always around each other for the kids. Even after his arrest, they were at their daughter's spelling bee contest. Key point though, Martell, your daughter's spelling bee contest. You can never mention a time where you and Mel have been around each other by yourselves without any children, and y'all have had a cordial moment, y'all have been cool, y'all been hanging out. You can never remember a time, because your only contact with Mel is because of the kids. So stop it. And Stormy is now recalling seeing his mugshot. Like, it's so crazy because after seeing your mugshot and your arrest was harassing communication and DV. Oh my God, it's so crazy, right? So a millionaire came to my warehouse. She's been antagonizing me and talking shit about me. And I cussed her out, and then I get arrested for the same thing. We get arrested for the same charge. What? That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy, right? Yeah, it's so crazy. That is not something to be laughing about. That is not something to bond over. Who bonds over getting the same charge? That's so weird. And you're saying your harassing communications came from her recording you and you cussing her out. You was on live threatening to end her life. Martell's arrest came from him sending a threatening message along with an incriminating photo to Melody herself. A fan didn't do that. A fan did not make him do that. He did that to himself. And he got convicted for it. He was found guilty for it. So you, in this moment now, Stormy, was minimizing and diminishing Melody's feelings on how she had to go through finding out about the Revenge P plot and getting him arrested. You're giving him license to not take more accountability for what he did when this man has already admitted it on more than one occasion, how he sent the photo with the message, how we heard the whole plot from Original Straight No Chaser. Your shit does not compare to what he did. Apples and oranges, just like how your mother did last episode, comparing your arrest at 18 to your arrest now at what, 34? I don't know your age, but it's crazy to me. Like, what is wrong with you people? In that moment, Stormy, you really disappointed me. You disappoint me to the highest regards of you now finding something to bond with Martell that's not cool to bond over. Who wants to bond over shit like that? And you knew that this was a delicate situation because when you met up with Mel and gave her the okay, the understanding as to why she does not want to come to your event because Martell was there, you said you and him have a lot going on. I don't want to get into it. When you said that, that lets me know you know what's up. You know it's a delicate situation. You in this moment trying to bond with him over having the same arrest is ridiculous to me. Really ridiculous. Then you even want to do even more bullshitting and deflecting and gaslighting by saying that your relationship with Mel is cool, y'all talk, but yet you still feel like the energy between y'all is not really real because she's not being direct with you about why you're friends with Destiny and how maybe the way that she claims she lost her number was because she didn't want to tell me I don't need to be friends with Destiny. You're full of shit. Full of shit, Stormy. That season, when you asked her about her number, she said you could have DM'd me anytime. You felt like that was such an odd thing for her to tell you. When you guys have met on social media, you guys have commented on each other's posts on social media. So sending her a DM asking about her number would not have been an issue. You wanted to have an issue. You wanted to be in the same boat like everybody else when they know that when Melody ends the season, she distanced herself with no issue with nobody. She leaves the show exactly how she feels towards everybody. Ain't no ill will, there's no resentment, there's no nothing. If there was a problem, you could have reached out to her. I don't see how it's all about because you're friends with Destiny. It's also telling the reason why she's not friends with you in the way that she used to be. It's because of how you're moving with Destiny. Because you know how Destiny has been. So you're full of shit, saying how she's trying to gaslight you to not fully be direct with you. You're gaslighting in this moment, making as if she has a real problem with you when she has never had a problem with you. Wanted to have one with Mel. Deflating from the fact that your mama have an issue with her for no reason. Your mother just admitted last week she goes after Mel for no reason. Y'all placing this blame on millimeters. And key fact though, Stormy, Black Titanic has never claimed to be a millimeter. She's a content creator that covers all things Love and Marriage Huntsville. She does not only cover you, she covers everything. You can miss me with that. There go Martell. I mean, Melody, she created the fans, she named the fans. I think she should say something. The same way how you need to hold yourself accountable for pillow talking with your whore about putting out revenge plea against your ex-wife. The same accountability you need to hold yourself back. Shit, Stormy, by telling your mama to sit the fuck back and stop talking about Mel, that's accountability. Y'all, two people, have very much close access to tell certain people to stop talking about Mel. More than the power you think she has over millions of people that she does not know. Y'all can miss me and y'all can go to hell. I'm moving on. We have Kimmy and Maurice. They have a double date with Sonny and Moses because Sonny wants to have a different conversation with Kimmy because she believes that she didn't hear Kimmy's full feelings when she met up with her and Tisha. But those were her feelings, though, Sonny. She just didn't want to come out and say it. That's why she allowed for Tisha to do all the talking. But Kimmy still has some type of grace for Sonny because of how Kimmy was there for her throughout her entire diagnosis. And she feels so torn because she's friends with Destiny, but she's cool with Sonny. She don't want it to be a problem. I don't give a fuck about Destiny's feelings. I don't care. So hearing that they want to move out to Huntsville, Kimmy was like, oh, wow. Isn't that a bit rubbing salt on the wound? No, it's not. Who gives a fuck about Destiny's feelings? Nobody cares. This was not about her and Destiny. Never had any intentions of her and Destiny. Everybody's grown. It's about them moving forward, them making a life with each other. You know, they want to raise a family and they believe that Huntsville is a safe place. Kimmy knows that for a fact because when she was living in Baltimore, she wanted to find a safe place for Jalen to live. So she chose Huntsville. Even though, yes, this is probably just for the show's purpose. Just for the show. I don't believe they want to move here for real. And why would Huntsville be of all places? Probably because they want to be on the show. It is what it is. So hearing all this talk about kids, Moses want to know, do you guys have any kids yet? We know that they just completed the second session of IVF. And apparently IVF in Alabama is not good. And so they did their IVF in St. Louis. And they don't have any kids. And they're at the age where they want to have a family. But Sonny went through the whole process of going through her options. Because she said she had complications. So IVF was their major route. I already know that people was dissecting the IVF part because they said they were already starting doing IVF before they got married. Listen, when someone wants something, they go after it. Sonny and Moses wants to have children. They want to make a life together. They are not going to stop at nothing. They're doing what they want. They're going after what they want. And starting the process of IVF is expensive. So they do what they want to do. I ain't got nothing against it. So we get to more of Maurice's and Marcel's background because there was 8 of them living in one household. What we did know was that their father went to jail. I thought their father just left. And their mother was raised, but their mother raised them all by herself. Raising 8 kids by herself, that's a lot. And obviously they didn't have a lot of money. They were poor, they've been homeless, this and that third, we know that. Then we also hear that by the time Maurice was 31, almost 30 of his friends were killed. And that's sad. Most can relate because he served time with people from Michigan, people from Baltimore, living from rural areas, the hood streets, and all this and that and the third. And it's not even because they were black, it's because their environment that they were living in. So Moses talked about his grandmother, how he was raised by his grandmother, and he was raised by her when he was around 7, 8 years old. His grandmother had 9 children, so he grew up with all of his aunts and uncles and their children, house full of cousins. He grew up on the rougher side of St. Louis, Walnut Park, I'm to assume. Both him and Sonny have family that lived in Walnut Park, which is the rougher side of St. Louis. And Moses also grew up with certain members of Sonny's family. And he went to prison at 17, got out at 19. That's when he got into real estate. He ended up taking over the property his grandmother passed down to him and ended up purchasing 2 more houses, took all the information of how to obtain real estate in the streets, but not trying to take in information of all the illegal activities. So been successful with owning property ever since. The second time around, he got 8 years because he could not let go of the street life, which is common for men who grew up from the streets, who have made a way to be successful, made a way to make a living, but they could not let the street life go. They could not let the mentality of getting fast money go. So in totality, he ended up doing 15 years all in total. That's a lot of years. I mean, my biological father, I think he did almost 10 years, and then my stepfather, he did 6.5 years. So I can understand. And throughout the time of him in prison, he lost a lot of family members. He lost his uncle, he lost his best friend, lost his grandmother, he lost his sister through C-19. So he lost a lot of members of his family. And Maurice can understand a little bit more about Moses and how he's looking at time. Because the time that he spent with Destiny, nothing happened. But then the time he spent with the time he spent with Sonny, they got married, they're moving forward, trying to have children, they're trying to find a house. So that's why Moses moves the way that he moves. He moves with trying to catch up and not miss out on making time with family. He wants to be with family. He wants to have a family. He lost so much of his life being in prison, and he lost family members while being in prison. He doesn't want to lose anybody. He wants to be in the moment. He wants to move forward. And that can also be a testament to how he was not moving forward with Destiny, because Destiny was stuck. She was stuck in what she was dealing with. She did not want to move forward. She did not want to make different decisions to make it better. That's why he chose Sonny. Sonny was at this pace that he was, wanting to do more, be more successful, get more properties, do things they never thought they could do. You know what I'm saying? Put a lot of manifestation in their future. And that's what Destiny didn't want to do. So he has a logistics trucking company, shipping company. He has an entrepreneur spirit, which is what attracted Moses to Sonny. And, he wants to accomplish a lot in life. And he said, I'm blessed to have her as my wife. I'm blessed for her to be with me. She was what I needed in that moment. And that's real. That's real. That's what a lot of people want. A lot of people want a partner they can grow with. They can break bread together, build generational wealth, build businesses, change the world. That's what they want. Want someone to push them to be motivated while they're being motivated themselves? Yes. So now Maurice has a different take on Sonny and Moses. Like, based off of what Destiny had painted, they're a very good couple. They're equally yoked. They seem cool. He even said that Sonny is the leader of the relationship and she can help make the right decisions, because while Moses has an entrepreneur spirit, there also is some things that Moses still has to learn. And he's willing to learn because he has someone like Sonny that can help him navigate that. Loved it. Kimmy is also happy that she got to hang out with them as well, because finding out that when Kimmy was going through her diagnosis, there weren't a lot of people in her circle that have reached out to her. So Sonny was there for her. She appreciates that. And maybe she can see how putting that energy out can maybe have people learn to be cordial around y'all. Y'all can be infiltrated in the circle better. We can all move forward. So they built their mom and pop eatery, and there's someone who wanted to host a tasting. And maybe, Sonny and Moses can come, everyone can come, and we can all see we can try to move forward. And also Kimmy enlisted her real estate services to Sonny and Moses because Chris was the first person they went to, but they don't have a signed agreement, so they can roam around and work with whoever want to work with them. So Kimmy can end up getting a bag about selling the house to them. Cool. Wonder how Destiny would feel. Don't give a shit. That's cool. That's fine. So then we end with Nell. Nell and Chris. Their kids come over and they get right down to it. The money lending has to stop because it slows down the things that Chris and Nell would like to do with the money they've earned. It's time for y'all to grow up, pay your own way, and the only way that Nell is going to come out and put out any money is for her grandchildren. Y'all grown, y'all can do what y'all want to do, but I'm not going to do no help unless it's for my grandchildren. So in that moment, Keke, her niece, she starts to cry because she feels like, so you're only going to care for Lance's kids and not mine? What about my daughter, your niece? What about her? Now, of course, Nell was just talking. She wasn't thinking clearly. She did not mean to isolate and leave Keke's daughter out. And then Keke ends up expressing that she don't have her parents. You guys are the closest that I have as parents, because she does call Chris Uncle Daddy. Keke has been a part of Nell's family ever since she was a child. So she has looked at them as additional parents because her parents are here, but they're not in her life. And how obvious and how easy for y'all to include Keke and everything, because in the family during last season, Keke was there expressing her concerns with Lexi. So y'all know how to always bring Keke along because she's a part of the family. She has grown up with your children. So Nell apologized. She did not mean for it to come out like that. And that's something that Keke has to also express to herself because she don't know where she fits in. I have no mom. I have no dad. I have an aunt and uncle. You guys are not my parents, though. That's how she feels. She feels like you guys are her parents. They feel like they have to handle her with care because it is sensitive for her to feel like this. So that's when they brought up talking to a therapist. They bringing up Dr. Francis. He's gonna be the therapist for next week's episode, which is tomorrow. And Chris was the one who opened up with a group session and also a solo session, which is good. They all need it. And when Nell was pointing out how they all need it, they also pointed at her. She needs it too. Because for Keke, she's feeling like she don't know where she fits in when it comes to wondering what are you to her. You are an aunt, but you have acted like a mother to her. So maybe we can figure out where you guys can have some unresolved issues with that. And I agree with Lance. I agree with Keke. I agree with Chris. They all say, I need to have that conversation. We need an outsider who does not know us, who can detect what the problems are and how we can navigate through them. Nell being stubborn, that she don't need to talk to nobody. You do need to talk to somebody, Nell. You are holding on to a lot of things that you feel like you probably need to, because I think you're still holding on to how the narrative had been about you when it came down to Lexi's mom and Chris, and you are not talking about how you feel. You just being stubborn. You're being, I ain't doing that, I ain't doing that. So you do need to talk to somebody. And in the preview for next week's episode, they're going to come at you about the way you respond to things. When you don't like to hear what you don't like to hear, you so quick to come out and be mean, come out and be nasty, because you listen to respond. You don't listen to hear and understand. So that was pretty much the end of the episode. I will say the episode wasn't bad. It was just a lot of annoyance when it comes to how idiotic these people sound like. And that's it. That's all I have. Oh, also, with tomorrow's episode, we got Trisha's husband coming in and he's going to explain his side. But I've already seen some clips and it's going to be a lot of him being in the wrong more than what Trish did. But y'all, that's it. That's all I have. Please stay tuned for my next video and I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.